And it's recording.
May 22nd, 2019, Rory Dyer and Paul Howard making another of our videos, this time on a voyage of discovery involving Orpheus.
Because we don't know what's going to go on, do we?
What?
We don't know what's going to go on.
Oh, quite right, yes.
Whether it's performance or what. Look, there's Raoul.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Yes. A voyage of...
And there's Ella
and
Fitzgerald.
Yes. Presumably she thought she would avoid the camera, but there we are.
Never mind, yeah.
Oh, well, yes.
They can't stop us, can they?
No, it is a voyage of discovery at St James's Palace, I think involving Orpheus. We can't film inside the palace, but we can around.
Spoil sports. Thank you very much, Mr. Dyer.
Ready? Rory Dyer and Paul Howard, Mark 2 of our mini documentary. This is another voyage of discovery with an afternoon tea fundraiser at Richard Stilgoe's house. I know what I'm performing, and I'll tell you more about that later on. I might do that now in case there's not another opportunity. I am performing my version of my personally written Dr. Rory Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You may have seen that already on another clip. Other than that, today is a voyage of discovery for us both. Part 2 of our next documentary, recorded 5th of June 2019.
Okay, Rory, what do you think? We're nearly here.
Well, we're driving up towards Trevor Manor where the event's going to take place. And
We're slightly late, but
hopefully not significantly late.
yeah.
I used to say standard, but it is stated. Young Hearts Run Free, 3:21. In around 25 minutes time, I'm going to remind you as to how much is in the bank.
Car park left, yeah.
So how you can get
there?
your hands on it. Yes. Also got
Yeah,
a
in
song
here, there's the
coming up
lake.
in 5 minutes time from Duran Duran.
Can it
So
go
I'm
see?
gonna-
Yeah, straight on.
From a Bond theme. Theme, it is a Bond theme.
And then in here, yeah, in here by this back door here,
Fantastic.
where we went last time.
Yes. All this week, this link is giving you the chance to win £1,500, and it's thanks
Wow.
to Shell.
And relax.
Yeah.
We made it.
We're here.
Yes.
Danny, Angus, who many of you will have heard sing, and Rory, who's here now to prove that Orpheus is not the end of things, that it does go on. We'll talk about that in a moment, but Rory, you're going to do a poem for us.
I
yes?
could do, yes.
That'd be brilliant. Okay.
Are you going to play?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Try and stop me. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Right. See if that works. I'll turn it on.
Very simply, I'm going to say it's a poem by me, and it's called Dr. Rory Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is self-explanatory, really. Ready?
What? Yeah.
Where's the countdown clock? You've got 30 seconds.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Dr. Rory Jekyll. Come on in, sit yourself down. I'll sort out your ills with potions and pills, and never the tiniest frown. Now tell me the cause of your trouble, your secret's safe with me, and while I lend an ear to why you feel queer, do you mind if I finish my tea? You miserable snivelling nuisance! How dare you take up my time? Get out of that chair, you've seconds to spare, before you're a victim of crime! How long have you had this condition? How long has it given you jip? Do you mind if I have one more sip? Did I ever tell you I hate you? You come in here 3 times a day. complain and complain with a minuscule pain, and I wish you just rot away. It's really so lovely to see you on the wonderful National Elf. I'd love to talk more, but it's 4:15 and I'm really not feeling myself. That's the end of it. No, I'm in London with still volunteering and doing various things locally, and most recently with Kensington and Chelsea College to be a mentor. But I applied for that yesterday, so I can't tell you much about that. And I'm writing my own story, Write Love by Way of Science, about scientists that fall in love. Probably because I'm still single, I was inspired to write it, I would think. But there we are. And various things of that sort. And importantly, I'm still involved with Orpheus and you today, after all these years. That's equally important.
Brilliant. This is a trick question, but would any of this have happened? What would life have been like if you hadn't been at Orpheus?
Very, very different. And I probably would have been quite a bit more of a less confident person. It depends, because I'd be able to interpret a lot of what I've learned into my life after Orpheus, and it was so influential that it feels like I've been on it for 5 minutes rather than 16 years.
Brilliant. Rory, thank you so much. Well done.
Ringo is.
Yeah, this is where Ringo was. Okay, go on, sir.
Yeah, now according to Paul, I am sitting, as he's told me, where Ringo sat when they made the video. With that in mind, I could say, "Dear sir or madam, will you read my book? It took me years to write. Will you take a look? It's based on a novel by a man named Lear. And I need a break, and I want to be a paperback writer."
Which is what you are.
What?
You are one, aren't you?
Well, I'm writing a story at the moment.
Yeah, so you could be one.
I could be one,
Ultimately.
yes. I'm sort of modernised paperback. It's called computer writing these days.
We're going up to the dome.
So it's interesting to picture all around me the area where the Beatles rocked away and filmed the video in one of their most sort of iconic stage style performances, and you can sort of get the atmosphere of where they are, where they were and where we are now, and you'll hear on the video a song of mine, Dreamy World, which is my song, which will be edited over some of the stills that Paul's taking on this. Hope you're enjoying this part of the video.
And it's like a cross between like the Beatles psychedelic era and early Pink Floyd with Syd Barrett, with Rory singing a bit like Syd Barrett on it.
Yeah, it was designed, Dreamy World as a song, which you'll hear, was designed to mimic Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
You see?
That was its history.
And it does it very well too. I'm sure we all hear.
Well, not mimic, but be inspired by, shall we say.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we sort of do a pan. It's a very beautiful scene, setting.
Very relaxing to be here as well, I think.
Isn't it?
Very
I
relaxing.
think you're in the middle of London.
Dreamy world in a garden of flowers, walking with her for hours. I love to see her smile. Dreamy world, butterflies in the sun, fusing colors they run. It's my world of bliss. Take me away, lead me astray. I'll float away with you. Dreamy world, you are my ideal. Although you are surreal, creating pictures from my thoughts. Dreamy world, I don't have any luggage, but I still take a ride on your fantasy express. Take me away, lead me astray. I'll float away with you. Dreams, hidden meanings, minds, hidden feelings, shown. Dreamy world, I won't always be with you, for I love exploring all the wonders of the world. But through your film-like fantasies, you still clear my mind in the hours of the night. Take me away, lead me astray. I'll float away with you. Take me away, lead me astray. See you again tonight.
It's Rory, we're having a coffee
Yes.
here at Chiswick House Gardens. Having a rest, we've been around the gardens. Right, Rory? We're
Yeah.
talking about post Orpheus,
Yeah.
your time at Orpheus, and when they sent you out into the big wide world.
Yes.
Right. So you had the first week, the first day. What was the first day?
The first day was the 13th of October 2003, and it was.
And like, as Rory always knows, every date, every birthday, which is excellent.
Yes, no, it was the 12th of October.
Computer
sorry,
memory.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
And and the funny thing was that I arrived back at my house.
Yeah.
And the first thing I remember is using my computer on the floor of the house, even before I had a desk.
Yeah.
And that computer is already in the Science Museum old storage space.
Yeah.
So it's a long time ago, although it doesn't feel all those years ago. It was definitely a new thing. I wish now that I've been out locally and recorded what it was like then in those days, because I'd be amazed by now
Yeah.
compared to what it's like now, I'll tell you that.
The changes that have
Absolutely.
gone down. Right, you came down to Vanston Place, where you live. Tell us briefly about what happened. They sent you a letter and you didn't receive it, did you, at first?
Well, I didn't receive it at first. It was put in a friend's pigeonhole rather than mine, you see.
At Orpheus.
At Orpheus. And when it said come for a meeting, when it said come for a viewing, about of the place, I thought it said come for a meeting about the place rather than a viewing. So I came to the meeting and was offered the house. And I think you let me in, didn't you, on the first one?
In the office at Vanston. But prior to that, you were at Orpheus, were you? Still?
Yes.
And were you like waiting? You'd already applied for housing, or?
No, I applied for it years ago, years before I had it, but I was on that list for 3 years until it became available.
And you basically, what were you doing then? Were you just you were resident at Orpheus?
I was doing all of the art stuff that you and I have discussed before, sort of all the performances in London and elsewhere, and sort of mixing amongst that community and with friends in Redhill.
Yeah.
And then was back in London, so that's where that comes from.
Okay. So I'm trying to visualise what you were actually still a student, or.
Well, technically, I was an apprentice as well as
apprentice, rather, yeah.
I'd be a student if I was there now.
Yeah. Under the auspices of Ofsted.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that was the first day. The first week, can you give us a little rundown on that?
First week, I was dealing with agency PAs and doing all kinds of sort of getting into the system of things, really, and just finding my bearings, with the house looking very different to the way it does now.
Yeah.
And really, it was exciting, but it was fairly overwhelming. You've got more used to it now.
Yeah. And did you have carers already assigned to you that
yes, from an agency at that time, yes. But it was all... My mother was helping me as well, and it was a family effort. When
I was just about to ask about your parents, yeah. Steve and Diney.
Yes.
Yeah. I've met them. I've not seen them for a while, but yeah. They're down in Devon now, right?
No, I've met them too, funnily enough. No, they've moved. Yeah. They've moved to Devon now. They used to work in London.
And then basically it was just... we're just talking about post-Orpheus, and because as Sir Richard said in the clip that we have at his place recently, he said there is life after Orpheus.
Well, there certainly is. We're experiencing it now. We've gone to the park.
Yeah, so we're doing things like this.
Yes.
Which is very difficult to get to because of the wheelchair access, obviously.
Well,
Earl's Court lift wasn't working.
All these things happen. I mean, you and I we've been on the boat, haven't we, down the river Thames?
Yeah.
So we do manage these things.
Yeah. So we just have to fit in where we can, where they allow us to.
You could say that.
But we had to go.
As I always say.
Yeah, you could say that. But we had to go all the way to Westminster just to get a lift to go to the other side, and hope there were lifts at Hammersmith, where I had checked and it did say there were lifts at Hammersmith.
Yeah, I have a thing that says don't react to what you think is going to happen, react to what does. Plan for what you can, but be aware that things change.
Amazing. You like your sort of experience with that, obviously.
Yes.
And that's not even come through Orpheus, that's come through experience. And,
it was one day at school when a school sports day was rained off. So what we did was very different from what we planned, and that's always stuck in my head.
Okay, so it started there, yeah. So it did help.
It did
even
help,
with that.
Even with that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So basically, we've got
school.
We're having coffee and flapjack, buttery flapjack. Right. So very, very well deserved, refreshing break, and then we're going to go back to Fulham.
We are indeed
on the bus.
Yes.
Hopefully there's no...
Hopefully we won't get into any problems transport-wise.
This time we're going to just get on at Hogarth roundabout, just outside the gates here.
Yes.
And get on the 190 all the way to West Brompton, and then just walk from
West
there.
Brompton, is that the station place?
Yeah, it drops us off at the Empress State Building, you know, the big building. So it's just one journey.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it'd be best to do that rather than mess about.
No, quite right.
So I seem to think it was 10 to the hour, or 10 past the hour.
What have been your views of all of the things we've done recently, Paul?
Just fascinating to see how, you know, obviously the workings of Orpheus, how it's been got together, and how you being the first student especially, it's just fortuitous that when I was working at Lanston, we met up.
Yeah.
And it was a kind of natural meeting, and from then it's just carried on from there.
It certainly has, yeah.
It's been fascinating and interesting. Obviously, going to Richard Stilgoe's house is surreal in one sense.
Yeah, and you would have seen that on the film. Excerpts of our most recent visit there and
that's right.
The surrounding area.
Yeah. Okay then, so thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Rory Dyer speaking on the end of the video on the 23rd of June 2019. For full editorial control, over to Paul Howard now, and we've shown you elements of the Beatles, of London, of Orpheus and countryside. So
the pressure's on for Paul Howard, I think.
Full editorial control, over to the voice you just heard. From me, it's over and out.
It's goodbye from him, and it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from the fabulous, lovable mop tops.
So this has turned into a sort of Orpheus nature walk which we're on now after the mini performance. We've just come down a slalom of a gravel path towards where we are now, and I wish you could feel the atmosphere, but you can see it anyway.
Amazing place. And back towards the manor itself, through the trees there.